Hi guys, welcome back. This week on our video we are going to show putting on the house wrap, the rest of the house wrap, and the siding, and we got our windows, so I'm gonna maybe try and show a little bit of that. I'm not sure because I have a lot of content this week. I'm not sure how far I will get in showing you what we've been doing. I'm also going to add in a trip that we took to visit our son, who's about 8 hours away. He's turning 40. So we all were invited, all of our kids were invited, plus us. We're invited to go down and celebrate his birthday with him. We're going to go for the whole weekend, go to church together and everything. It'll just be wonderful. All the boys and their families will be there, but my daughter, her kids are in school, so she won't be able to come, and we will miss her, but we will have a good time, I think. Let me know if you like that kind of stuff. I'm just not sure what all to add into my videos. If you like to see, you know, trips we make to see our kids, or if you like to see the dogs and what they're doing, or the chickens. I know you like the chicken house build because that got a lot of views, but I just don't know what else to add in. We're getting really close to the end of all the videos I have of what we've been doing on the house. So we're almost up to real time. And then I'm gonna have to just video all week and post it the next week. So it's going to take a lot more time, but I think I can do it. We will see. I'm just a little country woman here trying to take videos on my phone. So I am just so grateful that you guys are watching. I really enjoy your comments. Thank you so much. It's very encouraging to have people comment on the video and say how much you enjoy it. It really is encouraging, and I thank you for that. So that's what we're gonna do on our video this week. I'm really excited to show you our progress. I was up on that roof helping Dad staple off stuff and put plywood on. It was not fun. Okay, so I had to go through those joists there on the end, not joists, wall studs, and walk along this and go underneath that and crawl along some plywood and go up through the ceiling, the roof rafters, and nail down plywood and staple down the paper. I also had to crawl from there, cross this roof, get onto that plywood, walk across these roof rafters, and staple the very end of that paper and all the way along the top of that paper. Then get off of this board onto that roof, scoot along using my hands and my feet and my knees back onto the board underneath the roof rafters. Go across, there's another board down there. Go underneath all those roof rafters on my hands and knees, get back onto the plywood, and stand up and walk to get out through the wall studs. I was shaking and crying by the time I was done, but I did it. I am very afraid of heights, but Tim couldn't maneuver under those rafters and across that roof, so I was the only one who could do it.
We bought Plygem brand windows, as it is a brand that I've used a lot over the last 40 years of building and remodeling. The windows were purchased through a local family-owned lumberyard. The windows were not cheap, but they were priced pretty close to my budget. We have 25 single-hung windows and one sliding glass door. The sliding glass door goes in the master bedroom and gives us a great view of the valley that our creek follows and quite a few hills and buttes. I installed the windows over the siding. I put sill tape on the bottom of the sill, and I went up the sides about 10 to 12 inches with sill tape also. Then I caulked the other 3 sides and set the window in with screw fasteners. When I set my windows, I put them on top of 2 pencils laid flat on the sill. That evens out the gap top to bottom, and then I center the window in the hole left to right. Later I will spray foam from the inside to fill any gaps. I also install butyl tape on the exterior on 3 sides to give the window a good air gap seal. I know there are many different ways to do windows, but this has always worked well for me. Leave me a comment on how do you do windows. I would love to see all the ways we do things. Got it? Let it go. Double check. Looks good. Okay, that's the window. Good size, good height. Guys don't have any blinds. Nope. But our neighbors are blind. There's only one spot to the northeast where we don't have a view. We do live on the west side of the Rocky Mountains, so all of the views are pretty epic in my opinion. Dana and I were able to get all of the windows installed after I put up the siding.
Tim is up nailing off the rest of the siding. He tacked it up earlier, but now he's just nailing it off. He created a walkway on this narrow roof by putting plywood across the ceiling joists. He will put in the rafters after we are done siding and putting in the windows. We will be putting one more window in right in front of where he's nailing.
I finally finished the upper siding on the north and south sides of the house, and that made it possible to remove the plywood walkway and build the lower roof areas. Dana helped me with that area too, and she went a lot of places I couldn't get to. Not her favorite thing to do. The valleys were very challenging for me, as it's been quite a while since I've done some of them.
It was very challenging for Tim to walk across this walkway and get back up through the wall studs. It's almost painful for me to watch because I know how much it hurts him. I went inside to make lunch and I saw this behind our cabin. It was pretty scary until I realized they were just burning the field. So now they're burning to the north of us. If I can get some of those flare-ups. You can kind of see the flames in there. Wind is headed towards us too, so hopefully they've done their job and they have a good wide dirt swath all the way around their fields. They usually do that. Probably be done in 15 minutes. Turning to the west of us, but it's not as close. Stapling on the house wrap was very difficult to do, so high off the ground. Tim was very creative at how he got to the outside. It was very windy that day too, which made it even harder. The first thing he did was tuck the house wrap in between a 2x4 he had connected to the outside of the house. He gathered the house wrap with one hand and stapled with the other. He then attached a short piece of 2x4 to the bottom of the house wrap to help weigh it down. He's a very smart fellow. Now you can see him at the top standing on a ladder to reach. You can see how fun it was to go in and out of that window hole. It sure was nice to have Josh's help again. While you watch them put the siding on, I thought I would tell you a little bit about my grandparents. My daughter said she doesn't know a lot about my grandma, so I thought I would tell you about her. I was born in Kansas, and that's where both my mom and dad were from. We moved to the Pacific Northwest when I was 6, so I didn't see my grandparents but once every 2 years. My grandma on my mom's side was so fun to visit. She would be so happy to see us and loved to give us cookies. I remember her making orange drink and honey buns for breakfast. Some of you don't know what those are, but they're really yummy. She also had chickens. I remember her being so loving and kind. When I was afraid at night, she didn't mind me waking her up. She once climbed into my sleeping bag until I fell asleep. I determined I wanted to be just like her. She and my grandpa owned a farm with a cattle and chickens. They also grew wheat and silage. I remember swimming in the large round cattle watering trough. It was such a treat in the hot July weather. I loved seeing my cousins and playing with them. Robin was just the right age, being only a year younger than I was. My sister and I were only 1 year apart, so it felt like we were triplets. I still feel very close to my cousin, even though I haven't seen her for years. Grandma always had cats in her barn, and a lot of times she had baby kittens. So we would love going to the top of the barn and searching for the kittens and trying to tame them down. My grandma was afraid to fly, so after my grandpa died, my aunt and uncle would drive her out to see us. That was a long ways. It usually took about 3 days. She was the one always behind the camera and loved to take pictures of us. One time when she was out visiting us, we were all around the table waiting for dessert, and my brother tried to take a picture of her, and she quickly grabbed the dessert plates and tried to cover her face with them. They all dropped into her lap. We all laughed as she grunted. Good thing there was no dessert on those plates. Grandma played piano and made sure her kids learned too. Mom made sure we kids learned to play also, so I passed that down to my kids. I remember my mom's cousins coming over and we all would sing hymns in harmony around the piano. It was such a great time visiting my grandma. I am blessed to have such a rich heritage. Hebrews 12:1 says, "Therefore we also, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which so easily ensnares us, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us."
This wall we are working on is the east wall of the house. We use the same material for the tiny house, the barn/garage, and the big house for the siding. To save a big chunk of money and time, I did not install 7/16 OSB or plywood and then put house wrap and siding on the buildings. I put the house wrap directly on the framing and then installed 7/16 Louisiana Pacific Smart Soffit board over the house wrap. It doesn't have any grooves. It's like T111 without grooves. I still get the wind shear provided by the soffit board, and I don't have to pay for the OSB layer I skipped. So far, so good on durability. We are installing 1.5 inch wide by 3/4 inch thick bats of cedar at 16 inches on center on all the buildings, giving us the board and bat finish that we wanted. The bats will cover all of the vertical joints and the rows of nails at 16 inches on center all the way around the house. The horizontal joints have a Z metal flashing continuous, it's a galvanized product, around the house at each junction of stacked soffit board. So every 8 feet we have a piece of Z metal going around. Weatherproof and an inexpensive way to get the look we wanted. You can watch the video showing the finished product on the tiny house. My youngest son Isaac and his wife came to visit for a few days, and he and I installed the 4x8 sheets of soffit board in the lower row around 2/3 of the house. And my oldest son Josh came up to help me one day to do this east wall, getting 2 sheets high installed. We used galvanized rink shank 2.5 inch long gun nails to nail this product on, so we will have no bleeding or rusting or anything on the nails, and with the ring shank it holds it pretty good.
Tim had previously put up the beam for the mudroom roof. He had to wait until the siding and house trusses were up before he could frame the valleys. It was a tight squeeze, but he needed the fascia board to gauge how far the valley rafter needed to go. He had to cut the roof rafters at a difficult angle to fit the valley rafter. I'm just trying to show you how very difficult it was for him to do this on his own. He was very happy when he finally got this whole thing done. Tim is putting up the ceiling joists above the bedroom, and I am helping by cutting the bird blocking that goes between them on the outside wall. I really enjoy helping Tim with our house. Our son came up and helped us get that much done anyway. Put blocking in, put rafters in, put plywood on. Every little bit helps. It sure is a blessing to have sons who willingly help when we ask. The siding is done with all we can reach from scaffolding and ladders. Tim finished up the short roof on this side. We have decided to rent a lift for all the rest. We took a break to go to our son Isaac's 40th birthday party. We really enjoyed our time away.
Happy birthday, dear Isaac. Happy birthday to you. That is an orange creamsicle cheesecake.
The cousins always enjoy their time together, playing games and building things. The puppies loved playing with the cousins, but they slept most of the way home. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.